scoop that ish.
Yeah, but you just scooped a ton of alts about a freaking week ago, which I did, and I should have sold more dragon when it hit $2.
You never sell your dragons. What are you talking about over there?
I was swinging dragon. I bought some when it fell under $1. I haven't sold any of my initial investment.
Wrecked. Dragons. We're gonna start in 1 minute. We're just sending out the link to everyone.
Sometimes when you speak like that,
We are live.
Really?
Yeah.
We are live.
We are live.
People can hear us, they can't see us.
You guys are such noobs at live streaming. Like I say, we're going
I'm a
live
pro.
and you're questioning if it's live.
I'm a pro.
I'm a professional over here.
Yeah.
You can tell how his voice changes. You know?
For sure.
Yeah, he's got a little
That's
more.
what I thought. I'm not
Yeah.
for last year. Oh man. Jeez, type away.
Yeah, I get paid to type. You guys pay me for work, right?
Load in, load up. Kyle, retweet please. Yeah. Or actually, yeah, online.
Load them up.
How's the jewelless life?
He's backing it.
I don't really mind it. It doesn't make a difference to me.
Excellent. So that's
Go.
like to hear.
WPR is pumping.
I didn't do it for 3
Pumping.
days, and now I'm just like,
Exit all crypto
alright,
markets.
I don't really care.
Yes.
I'll rip it when I
Pay
want.
for your own Lux. Scam coin.
WPR is pumping. What? Lux is one of the only coins I didn't sell any of. Venture Coinist, Luke
Luke.
Martin. When are you flying me out to join? I DM'd you about flying out.
We hit you up, but
Come next week. Next week will be good. All right, we're gonna get started.
I look like a damn lumberjack today. I should have put on my good clothes for live streaming.
Yeah, you got it.
Gat's wearing a damn suit. I'm wearing Tim's and a flannel. Hey,
Wearing a suit. This is young professional.
there we go.
I got a lot to do after this.
Are we
Nah, I'm just
live?
kidding.
That's us.
We're live. We're definitely
already
live. How's the sound, everyone? Is sound okay? Hey, Sally. Good to see you in here.
Hey, Sally. Do you really think it was a good idea to sell your altcoins right at the bottom? How is that smart? We'll see.
Sell my coins at the bottom. I don't think it's the bottom. So I'll start off with what I did today. Yeah, we got real glasses. I got a promotion and I bought us glasses. So a lot of people are asking me why I sold so many of my alts, even though it looks like it's the bottom. I don't really think it's the bottom, and I don't like the way the market looks at all right now. So in order to protect my investments, I closed a lot of my positions and moved them either to Bitcoin or to USD. I really only kept, the positions that either weren't liquid or I really believed in. I put a list of the coins that I'm still holding on Instagram. My Instagram's on my profile if you want to see it. There's like 8 or 9 coins that I'm still holding. I didn't sell any of my Lux. I did sell some of my Dragon for the first time. Sold most of my low caps, mid caps, and I moved a lot of it to Bitcoin and USD. And my plan right now is buy back the Bitcoin at around 9,600 or 9,800. If there is a bounce there, then I'm going to ride it out, but I really don't see us breaking that resistance at 12,000 and confirming the bull trend. So I'm probably going to sit on the sidelines for a while. If we do break out and go into a bull trend, I'll return to the market at a small loss. The small loss is a lot better than a pretty significant loss that would happen if I rode this all the way down. Obviously, this is all speculative. This isn't financial advice, of course. So, if you like your coins, don't be dumping them just because I sold some of my positions. What do you think about the market right now, Birch?
Yeah, so I think we all share the same sentiment. We've talked about it a little bit within our Discord or our communities. It's not a good time to, I think, be making many moves at all. I think selling yesterday was a smart move on your part. It definitely prompted me to get out of some of the shorter term trades. I took some positions in, I know, here, bring it on, XRP, because we knew there was some huge news coming out. Huge news came out, and it, along with everything else, continued to dump. And so I think what we've seen is that catalysts don't really matter right now. The market is certainly still in the downtrend. But I do want to share how we plan to attack the market, because obviously we are gonna start taking positions in alts, right? And so we have to figure out when and kind of how we're gonna do that.
Yeah, so like I said, my plan for attacking the market is I'm going to wait for something really clear to happen, whether it's a continuation of the downtrend or a confirmed bull trend. I just don't want to gamble right now. This is kind of a no trade zone, and in addition to that, I have a lot of other things that I'm working on, and I don't want to be spending my whole day, just sitting there and waiting to make sure that my trades are going perfectly. I kind of just want to put in some really low buy orders, get out of my positions and focus on other things, because a bull market will come again. And like I always say, you don't need to get in at the bottom. Like in a bull market, you saw how crazy everything went. So by sitting out on the sidelines until there's a confirmed trend, I'm just protecting my portfolio. It's just a low risk move that I've decided to make because I just don't personally like the way the market looks right now.
Yeah, and I think we might be in different positions than some folks who might be in a better position and some who may be in a worse position. Obviously, if you came in during the craze, if you bought the top, it's a little bit of a different experience than folks. We had some really huge gains in December and even early part of January, and if we'd be silly not to take profits. Z Classic, I think, is an example that just pops into my head over and over again when I think about what is one of the trades that paid me the most to kind of finally get mostly out of, and Z Classic is something that comes up, but it depends on where you bought it. If you didn't buy it at $3 like we did, you might be playing a different
or
game.
even 30. And so personally, I did close a lot of positions for losses. Those were mostly coins that I picked up in the last week or two while we were trying to trade around and find the bottom, and I made a mistake by trying to find the bottom instead of just sitting and waiting for a confirmed trend. So I just wanted to cut my losses there. If coins bounce, then they bounce. If they don't bounce, then I'm gonna just get a better entry in the long run. So another coin I want to talk about is ETC. I get so many questions about it, that and ZCL.
I'll cover ZCL if you cover ETC.
Yeah, my quick synopsis on ZCL is I really don't feel comfortable with the valuation right now. I don't think that it's at a good price. It's too high. I obviously sold mine a while ago, so I'm not in it. It doesn't affect me. But ETC is a question I get a lot, and I'm probably going to be selling it about a week before the fork, and I'm going to be putting it into Monero. Monero V is a fork on the 14th of March, and I think the same thing's going to happen as ETC. And in addition, I see a lot of the OGs and bigger guys putting significant positions into Monero.
Yeah, I think Not So Fast said he put 90% of his portfolio in Dash and Monero. Was it those two?
I think he sold 50% of his bags and put 90% of it into Dash and Monero.
Into Dash and Monero, and those are some bigger caps, right? And so maybe the way to play this more volatile time is with some bigger cap coins that are going to move a little bit less, which was my thinking going into something as much as it pained me like Ripple with some good news coming out. Ripple above right around $1 where I entered felt okay, and today I exited for a small loss right around $1. So
people are saying in the comments Monero V is a scam fork. I haven't looked into it yet. I did see a white paper that was pretty basic, but when it comes down to it, a lot of people are putting their money in Monero. A fork is always a catalyst, whether it's a scammer or not. Like you saw, Litecoin even broke out before the Litecoin Cash or whatever. I know that they had LitePay as well, but you still have people buying it for a fork. And then, like I said, there's a lot of people putting their money into Monero.
So with Z Classic, my thoughts on it are pretty simple. It's not so much that I feel it's overvalued. I have a hard time valuing any crypto nowadays just because we've seen some of these startups go on to be worth many billions of dollars. So I don't have a problem with this valuation.
Or drop to millions of dollars.
Or drop, right? So I don't have a problem with this valuation because I just don't know that any of us can truly value some of this stuff. I do have a problem with the risk-reward ratio on Z Classic. Just imagine for a moment the possibility that Bittrex comes out and announces that they're not going to support the fork for some reason. That's something as an investor that you have to have in the back of your mind. What would happen to the price if that were the case? And you have to ask yourself, why would Bittrex decide not to support the fork? Well, Bittrex has done a lot of things recently to legitimize their operation, and supporting something like this could be viewed as very controversial or even too risky for them. So
exactly, and they haven't supported any fork other than Bitcoin Cash.
And Coinbase didn't even support Bitcoin Cash for what, 6 months? So it's not crazy to think that Bittrex might come out and say, hey, just as a part of the way that we're moving forward, we're not going to support this. That doesn't mean that you won't be able to pick up Bitcoin private or sell your Bitcoin private on Binance or something if it comes on another exchange, but that would be a pretty massive blow, and the risk reward doesn't make sense for me. So
I see a lot of comments about Rhett and Jake. I'm not gonna make a statement on what I think about their marketing and what they've done. When I first found ZCL, I thought it was a great buy. Right now, I just don't like the valuation.
Yeah.
As far as exchanges go, I don't believe any exchange will list it trade. Any legitimate exchange will list it trading instantly. But I do think a lot of the exchanges will give you your coins. I just don't think you're going to be able to trade them for a long time. Kind of like the NXT and Ignis thing. Like
Right.
they supported Ignis, but it took almost 6 weeks, or I think 4 weeks, until you could trade your Ignis coins or even got them. And so a lot of people are going to get really mad when the fork happens and then they can't withdraw their coins, because someone like Bittrex, they won't let you withdraw your coins until they know that the chain is safe. Because when you have a fork of Bitcoin, even though it's technically like a fork of Zcash, you're at risk of a replay attack, which means the basic way to explain it is when a coin forks, it's got the same blockchain up to that point. So there's this thing called a replay attack where you can actually replay or double spending, where you can actually use the private keys from one chain and try and attack the other chain. And that's a reason why exchanges won't let you withdraw for a certain period of time, because the two chains need to go independent and have a certain amount of, I guess you could just, to put it simple, they have to have a certain amount of blocks until it's safe to go between the chains. And you wouldn't be able to use, a private key on one chain on another chain. And so if it does happen where Bitcoin private gets listed on exchanges, I think it would be many weeks from the fork, except on an exchange maybe like Yobit. Have I considered doing margin Bitcoin calls again? Your calls were pretty spot on. I have been practicing on the BitMEX testnet, and I'm starting to get more comfortable with Bitcoin margin calls, but that's something I never focused on. Peripheral is in the Gem Club now, and if you want, I can have him post more of his calls. He's been pretty good on BitMEX.
BitMEX wrecked.
Why did you guys decide to sell all your coins now and not for the past 2 months we've been dipping? Great question. So I had this conversation when Bitcoin was about at 8,000. I said I should have sold more at the top. There's nothing I can do now, and me and my friend were trying to figure out, should we sell now and avoid the risk of going down to 3,000, or should we just kind of wait it out and see what happens? So we decided at that time, we'd rather be bag holders and ride it down to 3,000 than miss out on a bounce. And so what happened? We just bounced to 11,000. We saw decent bounces in altcoins, and I've been just waiting for a bull trap, because we haven't seen a bull trap this whole time since the original drop. And I made the decision that I almost got out at 8,000 just because I didn't like the way the market looked. Things are up 40-50%. It would be really stupid for me not to reduce a lot of my positions and manage the risk in my portfolio.
And on that note as well, I haven't really made any altcoin entries the last 2 months. So it's, why haven't I sold the last 2 months? There was not a lot to sell. Over the last few weeks, I accumulated for some shorter term positions that I thought would do okay. Some had a few percentage point gains, and some had losses. So just haven't taken many positions.
I saw a comment about why am I not as excited about ICX as I was in December. I was never hyped about Icon. I don't remember even posting about Icon, to be honest. Maybe once or twice I tweeted about it. I've always been hyped up about Aeon. I did sell my Aeon that I have right now, but I don't think that it's a bad investment. I only sold my Aeon right now because I'm going to be getting Aeon every month from the TRS distribution. If I wasn't getting that, I definitely would have held my Aeon right now. Yeah, shorting ETC I think is a good idea.
Just be careful to go low leverage.
Yeah, a couple days before the fork, but I would do really low leverage because there's obviously going to be a squeeze out before it starts to dump. We saw that a few days ago with ETC, where there was like the craziest squeeze. Dumped 50% on BitMEX and pretty much liquidated everyone in the long.
That was savage.
Have I been buying the key dip? No, I haven't. I am not holding key right now. I do think it's a good long-term hold, but I reduced most of my positions. What is your opinion, the odds of a double bottom right now? We go under 10K, we're going to 7K or lower. So my personal opinion is we're going to bounce between 9,600 and 9,800. It's going to complete what looks like it's going to be an inverse head and shoulders, and then if we break out of the inverse head and shoulders, we retest 12,000. If we get rejected there, that's the trend line from the top at 20K. If we get rejected there, then I think we drop to 6K or 3K, and we're in a downtrend for at least another month. But if it is an inverse head and shoulders and we break through 12K, that's when I would re-enter the market at a small loss.
Yeah, and then Theo said, how can you be sure you're not selling the bottom? You can never be sure, right, with any of the moves that you make, but there's not a lot of support underneath where we're at right now.
It's not about selling. Yeah. It's not about being worried about selling the bottom
or the top, right?
Or the top. It's just I don't feel comfortable in the position here. And like he was saying, we are at the bottom right now, but you know, once you break the bottom, it's a free fall. And we kind of saw that with Bitcoin. Once we broke the first and only support, it was just a free fall. Like, there is nothing there.
Yeah, with the total market cap, 500 billion has been this really interesting number to watch as it's broken above and below 500 billion as a total market cap. And now that we've broken back below, we've broken sharply. You know, I'm going to be looking to take positions in alts as that market cap gets lower back to previous lows, maybe even $250 billion. I don't know that we'll have much more downside from there because of that would go below the longer term trend line from before the big December pump. But I think that buying alts closer to 200, I think you'll have a better shot to buy some alts when the market cap is closer to 250, 300 billion than you will towards the 500 billion end. I think we have more downside to come.
Yeah, and then again, I don't think we're going to have a really sharp drop again. Like the kind of bear trend I'm talking about is over, you know, a couple weeks or maybe a couple months. If you go back and look at the last, I guess, bubble burst, whatever you want to call it, it was like a 4 or 5 month thing that was very gradual. Like, we had that really sharp decline, which we've already had, and then there was a pretty extended period of just like gradual sell-offs and you know, if you look at the market cycle chart, depression, I guess.
Yeah, we've it depends on which one you look at. I've seen a couple that say that we've already gone through all that.
I don't think we've gone through the depression yet.
I think this is the big dead cat bounce. We have a chart back here. That's what I keep looking at. But I think we keep seeing I think that's the dead cat, and I'll just see where we bottom out. Maybe a double bottom, like was suggested.
Some people are saying that 16K was the dead cat, but that's not a dead cat. That's like the bounce and your last chance to get out. A lot of us weren't in the right mindset to sell because we just saw those crazy gains.
I mean, those gains were unreal, and it's very hard to get your emotions out of the way, and none of us are perfect at it, and so it just kind of comes with it. You learn.
Yeah.
Right. I haven't sold any of my dragon yet, and I'm a freaking dragon whale, so I'm gonna hold through. I'm not gonna dump the market on you guys.
I sold a little bit of dragon, but I never sell. I never sell at market price. I always put in a limit order. You know, I don't.
The problem with selling on KuCoin, we saw this last time, right?
There's no liquidity.
There's no liquidity, and so the last time we had this little fallback, it was a couple of weeks ago.
Someone ate my dragon wall, though. I mean, there's no liquidity in there, but my dragon wall was gone very quickly. Not that it was that big of a wall. That's the bull trap, 16K. This is the dead cat bounce. Yeah, this is the dead cat bounce, in my opinion. Before we just see the slow, gradual decline where people start to lose hope, and that's really when you want to be buying. And I'm preparing myself for that. Like I said, you know, I want to sit on the sidelines and take advantage of other opportunities like the ICOs that I'm advising, and then I'll get back into trading when I feel more comfortable with the market conditions. A lot of these coins I still look on CoinMarketCap, and the valuations are ridiculous. Almost all of them, to be honest. Like, I just don't understand how these coins are worth hundreds of millions. Like something like Redcoin, Dogecoin, those aren't worth hundreds of millions.
Yeah, I think those are going to be the ones that.
If you look up companies in real life that are worth hundreds of millions, then you compare it to some of these coins. I mean, it's such a joke. I think we still have a long way down to go. Another thing I've been saying to people is I don't see a lot of big updates coming from coins the next 3 to 6 months. The market's just been trading on hype, and hype can only last so long, which means that we kind of need to have a small downtrend while development occurs, because everything's hype right now. And we said it, 2017 was the year to hype things up. 2018 is the year to show results. And if they don't start showing results soon, then these evaluations aren't worth it. Because they're trading at crazy evaluations like tech startups where, you know, if everything comes out, they can be worth billions of dollars. But if we don't see these updates and developers keep pushing things back, main nets don't get released, then these prices are just going to fall.
And then even once the tech is complete, guys, you're still investing in startups, right? They still need, once the tech is complete, to go and find paying customers, to get use case and adoption, to do marketing. They need to build their companies in order for the token to have real value. specifically utility tokens, if they're not being used, and again, there's no use case, then they're not going to hold value. And so we may be in that place right now.
Someone just said we just had a 70% correction, laughing my ass off. Yeah, we just had a 1,200% pump. We could easily see a 95% correction, and we would still be up 100%. You know, we're in a really speculative market, and you can't be saying we just had a 70% correction. You're new to trading. No, this is a different space. You've obviously never traded in an emerging market.
So some people keep asking, is it too late to sell, or do I do this? Whatever you're going to do, whatever decision you make, you should not go all in, more than likely. We didn't come out here and exit all crypto markets, right? We're preserving capital, right? And so we're diversifying, making sure we have enough BTC to buy some exciting dips. We're making sure we have some cash on the side, because that's what the world runs on, is fiat. I don't intend on withdrawing it. I hope I don't have to, but it's nice to have it there. It's nice to have a nice chunk of cash sitting in my GDAX account, and then then you're in some other trades. But you diversify in whatever you do. It's about managing risk and managing your capital. It's not about going all in on one thing or another. That all-in mentality is kind of what got us into this trouble in the first place.
Exactly. People
going all in on these different coins, and then just.
I mean, that's how I got started trading. I didn't put very much money into crypto because I didn't have much money at the time, and so almost all my trades were like all-ins, and it was a roller coaster. I felt like I was playing poker and going all in every hand, and it was tough for a while. And now that I'm at a place, I didn't expect to be 8 months ago, there's no point in me risking, what I've spent hours and hours every day trying to earn, especially when there's other opportunities on the table. And so I'm really taking this time to get more into the business side of things rather than trading, and create companies and create opportunities not only for me but for everyone that will last, because trading isn't sustainable. You don't see anyone that just gets rich off trading. Trading is a great place to start, and I'm learning that. Obviously, I'm pretty young, but I just don't see trading as something sustainable, especially day trading. And so that's why I put a lot of money on the sidelines, because I want to get in at the best point possible, or at the start of another bull trend, and really just be able to ride the money out. I don't want to be day trading anymore. I want to move on to better opportunities. How old am I? I'm only 22. I'm not going to talk about how much money I put in. It was not a lot. I was in college at the time. It was definitely a couple months worth of Tito's, but nothing crazy.
I'm certainly a lot more in BTC than I am in USD or Tether. So it's not like I've exited all crypto markets, and I'm not saying we're going to see 6K either. I think 10K is really good support. I think it'd be great to see us move sideways along 10K, let the market just kind of find some stability, and then I'll certainly be looking to take positions. But I'm also very prepared for it to come collapsing down 90%, and I want to protect myself in the event that happens.
Yeah, and it's not like I'm saying, oh my God, the market's going to crash. I'm just saying I personally don't like the way things look, and I want to play the safe route. If the market starts to boom, I will be happy for everyone. I'm not going to be sad being on the sidelines and not holding most of my positions if everything starts to break out. It's just if it goes down, I'm going to be in a lot better state of mind than if I just held all my positions through them. And that's another thing. I didn't sell everything. I sold maybe 50% of my altcoins, maybe 60 to 75% tops. I'm still holding about 50% of that in Bitcoin, and then the rest in USD, which, like I said, I have buy orders to get back into Bitcoin. How am I holding the USD at the moment? It's in GDAX right now with buy orders, and then the rest of it I withdrew to my bank account. So, I mean, we'll do a couple more minutes.
Yeah.
If you guys have any more questions, we'll answer them. I'm going to be doing this every Wednesday.
We're going to fly Luke out next week.
Luke Martin, if you're still here, we're flying you out next week. Screen cap that, send it to him, tweet at Luke Martin. Tell him he'll be here next week for Whiskey Wednesday. He'll have the seat right in between us.
Yeah, right here.
It'll be a good time. I think it might be his first time in Chicago.
Alcohol is a depressant, Sally. You know this.
I thought Whiskey Wednesday would be more upbeat.
Listen, we're not. It's nothing to be sad about. I mean, we've done really well. We're going to continue to do really well. We're just putting some other scenarios out there for you to think about.
Have I ever considered going to a tax haven like Puerto Rico. I just moved to Chicago, so I'm not ready for a new move anytime soon.
Yeah, I'm considering it. That's for sure. Bring some chicks, guys. It's the true sausage. Yeah, there's about 7 to 10 dudes in this office any given day.
Yeah.
Working away.
We need more girls in crypto.
No doubt about that. Make sure you hold hands only off camera.
Yeah. No hand holding off cam or on camera. Off camera. Maybe we'll have a behind the scenes video.
Yeah, who's coming to the Chicago event? Actually, I'm going to be doing a little bit of speaking there. Dan, the CEO of Current, is going to be chatting there, and some of the other people within our space are going to be there. It'll be a fun little event, and then we're having an after party. So if you're in or around Chicago, hopefully we'll see you there. What about Digital Hacks?
And then what else is going on? I'm in the works of planning a 2-day conference in April or May in Chicago, so be on the lookout for that. We'll have some pretty big coins there, and in addition, your favorite influencers out there, Bitcoin Bravado will be sponsoring it along with me and some others. That's still in the early works, but just thought I'd throw that out there.
I think we'll probably get more influencers there than we've seen at most events.
Yeah,
which is pretty cool. Hopefully, it's an opportunity for you guys to network with some of the favorites within the space. I think we've done a good job of trying to learn from each of their individual strengths, and so looking forward to bringing those guys into one room.
All the conferences I've been to have really been focused on just like technology in general, and I want to bring a new aspect to the conference, which would be trading. There's been almost no traders at the conferences I've been to.
No,
I don't know about you, but
nothing.
It's really just people there for the technology or companies that are trying to start up. And so
right.
I think it'd be really cool to have at least part of the conference focused on trading. Have a trading panel, maybe some live demonstrations of different.
It'd be cool to break it up too. Have some people who focus on TA. We have like Cred out there, or Venture Coinist, some of our other friends in the space, or some people who focus on the ICO side of things, or tech, what have you, security, mining, masternodes.
Yep, we'll have it all. It'll be a really fun conference. All right, well, we're gonna hop off for today. We'll stay in the chat for a minute or two if you guys have any questions. I see some stuff about Hat. I didn't dump Hat yet. Hat is one of the coins I'm still holding. Like I said, on my Instagram, I posted a picture of all the coins that I'm still holding. Hat is one of the best risk rewards out there right now in terms of risking it going to zero towards 20 to 30x, considering what company is behind it. There is a Silicon Valley company that's privately funding it, or at least they say. And so once that's released, if it's a big company, you're going to instantly see a 10 to 20x, and it will be a $100 million market cap. If it never gets revealed, it could kind of die, but that's the risk that you take trading a low microcap.
And the foot around being anonymous developers, Bitcoin has anonymous developers and was founded by one, so I don't have a huge problem with that. And then some people were asking about Ethereum. In the ICO landscape, it's easy to take two perspectives. You can be bullish on Ethereum because ICOs have already raised $2 billion in 2018. Or you can take the other perspective, and I'm actually becoming a little bit more bearish on Ethereum because it's actually a lot harder to get into ICOs, so there's going to be a lot more private sales. And these private sales, a lot of the investors might use Bitcoin or might use some other currencies to actually make that investment. It's not as heavy. When there was a big public sale, everyone used Ethereum, but a lot of the private investors invest in Bitcoin. So when they buy into ICOs,
I have the same stance on Ethereum. I think its main use case is kind of dying down as ICOs are.
A lot of competitors. A lot of
competitors. And like I've been talking about Polymath. Polymath is going to be the first security token offerings. And most of these ICOs right now are actually security tokens, and so Polymath will kind of be taking the burden away from Ethereum, even though it is created to interact with the Ethereum platform. Everyone will still be using Poly tokens as far as the legal advising goes and trading on secondary markets. So, Polymath is something I'm still holding, and it's something to definitely look out for. They have their first conference from the 28th to the 3rd in the Bahamas, and that's going to be the first security token offering conference.
Say Polymath's your favorite right now, like new on the block?
New pickups. The only two coins that I picked up and didn't sell off are Polymath and Storm.
And Storm is my new favorite as well. It's one I'm not going to get rid of. I'm going to buy more. And
we're going to put out a video on Storm probably this weekend. We wanted to post it on Monday, but I slept too long.
And so the market's been shit. So we'll wait for a great entry. But Storm, Polymath, I know Ion, some others. I think we're excited that are new on the block. You just have to be patient.
And I still got my Lux.
And I still have my Dragon.
Staking just started again for Lux. I'm excited.
Still have my Dragon. So.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, guys.